Hi everyone, welcome to my stream after long time. अभी देखते हैं कि कैसा चलता है. Let's see if someone is watching us. Um, okay, let me just log in here. Can anyone see me? अभी वेरीफाई करना पड़ेगा एक बार. जी. Um, mm, 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 mm. मुझे एक बार कंफर्म करना पड़ेगा कि ये मैं ही हूँ. हाय हाय हाय, चलो कुछ लोग देख पा रहे हैं मुझे. लेट मी नो. कुछ लाइव कोड करेंगे आज. ऐसा मेरा प्लान है. एंड द रीज़न आई एम नॉट डूइंग वीडियोज़ एंड लाइव कोडिंग एंड ऑल दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स इज़ बिकॉज मेरा घर अभी जो है उसमें उसका कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा है. सो माई हाउस इज़ अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन. सो लेट मी नो इफ़ यू कैन हेयर मी फाइन एंड सी मी वेल एज वेल. तो अभी मैंने स्ट्रीम के लिए एक छोटा सा यहाँ पे एक प्राइवेट रूम लेके उसमें सेटअप करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. तो आज अपन थोड़ा बहुत कोड करेंगे एंड वी विल सी हाउ इट गोज़. लेट मी नो कि ओवरऑल कैसा एक्सपीरियंस रहता है बिकॉज आई एम नॉट रियली श्योर कि अभी कैसा दिख रहा होगा. ऑल्दो आई एम ट्राइंग कि अच्छा दिखे, बट स्टिल लेट मी नो. अगर मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ. ठीक है, लुक्स फाइन आई गेस. ओके सो आज हम क्या करेंगे. आई जस्ट वांट टू नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर अ फ्लटर डेवलपर. तो मैं कुछ फ्लटर में करने की कोशिश करता हूँ. आई गेस मोस्ट ऑफ यू माइट बी नोइंग दैट आई हैव अ पैकेज इन फ्लटर which is called velocity x. A lot of people don't know how to use it properly, so we can do something on that side as well, right? So let me know if you can hear me well or if you can see me well. मैंने एक छोटा सा आईपैड यहाँ पे रखा हुआ है. मेरे पास बहुत ही अभी um, छोटा सा सेटअप है राइट नाउ बिकॉज आई एम एट लाइक अ वेरी स्मॉल रूम. एंड वन मोर थिंग, just wanted to know. Okay, someone has said please talk about Flutter 2.10. I won't just talk about it, even I'll do something about it. So we will see कि क्या क्या नया आया है, what's new in Flutter 2.10 as well. My main intention is to right now code something and show you some wonderful things which you can do with Flutter. We will start with a new project probably. So what I'm doing, मैं भी पहले एक नया project create कर लेता हूँ फटाफट. फ्लटर न्यू प्रोजेक्ट. एंड मैं इस प्रोजेक्ट को नाम देने वाला हूँ लाइव कोडिंग. तो मैं यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ. आपको भी कोड दिखने लगेगा थोड़ी देर में. मैं अभी पहले प्रोजेक्ट एक बार स्टार्ट कर लूँ, उसके बाद सिमुलेटर भी स्टार्ट कर लेता हूँ. फिर उसके बाद मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि आखिर क्या बना रहा हूँ मैं. ओके, दिस लुक्स फाइन. स्टार्ट iOS सिमुलेटर एज वेल. तो फ्लटर इज़ ऑसम. हेलो हेलो एवरीवन. बहुत लोग मेरे को जो बहुत टाइम बाद देख रहे हैं या कभी उन्होंने देखा ही नहीं है, तो मैं ही इस चैनल को चलाता हूँ अगर आप नहीं जानते हैं तो. बट मैं बहुत टाइम से बहुत इनएक्टिव हूँ. मैं उसका रीज़न भी आप लोगों को ज़रूर बताऊँगा एक दिन. बहुत सारे रीजंस एक्चुअली. सो एक काम करते हैं, मैं कोड शेयर करता हूँ आप लोगों के साथ. ओके तो आप कोड देख पा रहे हैं कि नहीं, ये मुझे ज़रूर बताइएगा. इफ़ यू कैन सी इट और नॉट एंड हाउ मच यू कैन सी. ठीक है, तो अभी दिस इज़ व्हाट वी हैव वेरी स्मॉल. लाइक ऑल्सो लेट मी नो इन दी कमेंट्स कि इफ़ लाइक इफ़ द क्वालिटी इज़ कमिंग फाइन और नॉट, बिकॉज नॉट श्योर. मैं थोड़ा सा सेटअप मैंने चेंज किया है यहाँ पे. वेलोसिटी में दिखाऊंगा, बिल्कुल दिखाऊंगा आपको, और बहुत ही अच्छी अच्छी चीज़ दिखाऊंगा इनफैक्ट आज. बहुत मतलब हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे कि ऐसे लाइक थोड़ा सा छोटा कर सकता हूँ कि नहीं. हाँ, दिस इज़ फाइन. तो मुझे आप बताओ कि आप मुझे ढंग से देख पा रहे हो कि नहीं, कैन यू सी द कोड वेल और नॉट? दैट्स ऑल्सो समथिंग। एक काम मैं और करता हूँ, मैं एक बार फ़ोन में भी चेक कर लेता हूँ कि कैसा दिख रहा है, जस्ट टू नो कि सब चीज़ें सही चल रही हैं कि नहीं। और मैंने यहाँ पे खोल लिया है फ़ोन में अपने, और मुझे लग रहा है कि क्वालिटी सही आ रही है फ़ोन के हिसाब से तो, राइट। ठीक है, तो वी विल डू समथिंग। फ़ॉन्ट थोड़ा बढ़ा देता हूँ, फ़ॉन्ट में थोड़ा और बड़ा कर देता हूँ। बहुत ही सिंपल चीज़ों से स्टार्ट करेंगे, बट बहुत ही आपको मज़ा आएगा, आई एम श्योर। अब देखो, फ़ॉन्ट मैंने थोड़ा सा बढ़ा दिया है, एंड लेट मी नो इफ़ व्हाट लैंग्वेज आई शुड यूज़। इंग्लिश यूज़ करूँ, हिंदी यूज़ करूँ, या मिक्स यूज़ करूँ? दैट्स ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, मैं सारा कोड हटा रहा हूँ, जो फालतू का कोड इसमें लिखा हुआ है वो सारी चीज़ें हटा रहा हूँ, ठीक है। और यहाँ पे मैं एक होम पेज बना रहा हूँ, हल्का सा एक होम पेज लगा रहा हूँ। ये होम पेज अभी एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता, तो मैं क्या करूँगा, मैं यहाँ पे एक होम पेज क्रिएट कर देता हूँ फटाफट। होम पेज डॉट डॉट, ठीक है। ये चीज़ मैंने क्रिएट कर दी यहाँ पे, और इस होम पेज को मैं बोल देता हूँ एक स्टेटलेस विजेट है, ठीक है। राइट टॉप पे कर दूँ मैं अपने वीडियो को, ये भी अच्छा आइडिया है वैसे, बुरा आइडिया नहीं है। अब मुझे सही लग रहा है, ठीक है। मैं टॉप पे आ गया हूँ। मुझे बता देना अगर वीडियो का कोई इशू हो, कुछ भी हो, ठीक है। मेरे को पता नहीं चलता है कभी कभी। ठीक है, तो मैंने यहाँ पे एक वो बना दिया है, स्टेटलेस विजेट बना दिया है, होम पेज, राइट। तो होम पेज यहाँ बन गया है, और इंपोर्ट कर देंगे मटेरियल डॉट डार्ट, ठीक है। तो ये बहुत बेसिक चीज़ कर रहा हूँ मैं अभी अभी मैंने कुछ भी नहीं किया है। प्लीज़ यूज़ इंग्लिश, ओके। आई ट्राई इंग्लिश। मैं मिक्स करूँगा, आई ट्राई टू मिक्स बोथ थिंग्स, ओके। So basically what I'm doing, I have created this home page, okay. This is a very simple home page, okay, nothing else. Oh, I'll try to speak very simple English, by the way, so that anyone can understand. So main.dart has nothing basically. This is a just a normal application which you just create when you run Flutter create, right? And home page I can import. So what's happening is basically we have just tried to create a new class homepage which is doing nothing basically as of now. So we'll try to see what we can do with this. One thing which I'm gonna do, I will add one package over here. So pubspec.yaml is here. What I'll do, right now guys, I'm using Flutter 2.5.3. The reason is, um, the latest version is obviously 2.10. Before this there was a version called 2.8, right? Why I didn't, like, I updated to 2.8, but there was some problems with iOS builds. There were some crashes which were happening in the production, so that's why I moved back to 2.5.3, okay. So now what I'm gonna do, I'll update to 2.10 very soon, then I'll let you know that what is, should you update it or not, and I'll make a video on 2.10 separately as well. That's my plan. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, pubspec.yml, I will add a package called velocity x, okay. That's my package, and you can do lot of things with that. I'll just show you, and you will be amazed if you don't know it, because um, I have done lot of thing to make that package, okay, like a lot of contribution in last 1 year or so. So there is something called, in VS Code you can have pub, what we call it, एक मिनट जाते हैं extensions में. So there is something related to pub, if you will see. So it is called pub spec assist, okay, if you can see it. So pub spec assist is basically, it will help me in adding a package. If I'll just say command shift P, okay, command shift P, add dependencies. So you can see pubspec assist add dependency. I can give a name here, for example velocity x. If I'll do this, it will show me all the packages which has velocity x, okay. So I'll start with first one, that is my package, and it will add that package over here, okay. So this velocity x package, right now the version is 3.4.0. I recently updated it, so we can see something like this over here, right? Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's run this application to see what we get. Okay, so we will also talk about this new design system which is Fluent UI. So with Flutter 2.10, it is not supporting Windows, right? So it is supporting Windows. So On Windows, the design system they use today is basically Fluent UI. Okay, thanks Gokarna. Gokarna ने subscribe किया. If you are not the subscriber of this channel, please do it, because there is a lot of things which I'm gonna explain you in live coding. We will enjoy. So that's the plan. So Fluent UI I was talking about. Fluent UI is nothing but it's some set of guidelines, okay, uh, which can help you in making good Windows applications, which we will also cover in this series sometime, maybe next week or next to next week. Let's see when we can do it. But as of now, we'll try with few things. We'll try to make something, okay. थोड़ा अच्छा बनाएंगे, कुछ पहले सीखेंगे, फिर उसके बाद कुछ बनाएंगे. And we'll try to learn so many concepts, okay. If you are new Flutter developer, then also you will learn many things. If you are an experienced or maybe an intermediate Flutter developer, then also you will learn. Okay, so we have this application running over here. It's showing a blank screen because there is nothing which I have added. So if I go back to home page, you can see that the container is basically showing nothing, okay. So basically it's a blank container. If I change the color of the container, for example, if I do colors, for example, colors dot red, okay, uh, then you can see I can see the red color, okay. There's one more thing which is very interesting is that if you see this colors library, okay, so this colors library, if we go inside this, then we can see we have a lot of colors. For example, transparent, black, we have black 87, 54 with like there is some opacity change, right? But these are majorly material colors. If you see white, white 70, white, that dash, okay, white variant of white and black we saw. And then there is red color which has 50, 100 and all those kind of things values. Then we have red accent, then we have pink color. So there is a material library which has a lot of colors. I'll show you now. So these are all the colors which we can see. So these are not many colors, okay. These are just few colors, maybe 20, 30 colors with different variations, right? What we can do, if you need more colors, so what I have done, okay. um, uh, what is the okay, so what is the what I was saying? Okay, ठीक है. So if you have more colors, like if you want more colors, so we have added the package velocity x, right? So what you can say vx dot, okay. We have to import vx, so एक बार import कर लेते हैं इसको. Please subscribe, yes, all the members, please do subscribe. So we have vx, we can say vx dot, and now if we see, we have a lot of options, okay. These are colors. So we have amber 100, 200, 300, 400, then black, blue, blue gray, cool gray, cyan, emerald, fuchsia color is there, gray color is there, green is there, indigo is there, light blue, lime color is there, orange is there, pink is there, purple is there, red is there, rose is there, teal color is there, true gray, violet, warm gray, yellow, amber, okay. These are, so there are a lot of colors basically, that's what I mean. For example, if I want to use purple 400, right? So you can see we have purple 400, right? I'll just hide the alert box for now. Okay, so you can see we have purple 400, which is not a part of like material library, okay. So these are very interesting colors. For example, we can use amber 400. This is again a very interesting color, right? You can see it. So there are many colors. For example, we have a rose 400. So if you see, this is a rose color, right? A lot of good colors, right? So basically this is one use case of vx, where you can do a number of like a lot of varieties in terms of colors. Okay, so now what we can do, let's do one thing. Let's do let's have a child, okay. And in child we have to show a text, okay, which says welcome to live session. Okay, so ideally what we do, um, ideally we write text right? And we say that welcome to live session, live coding, for example. ठीक है? This is how we show it, right? This is looking very bad because first of all, it is not using a material theme as such on the top of container. So what we can do, we can just wrap this container using material, for example. Right. Now you can see we have this welcome to live something, but it's on the top. So what we can do, we can wrap it with center, है ना? Center से we can wrap it. And then what happens is basically uh, it moves the text to center, right? And then what you have to do, if you have to do some styling, it's a very boring process. ठीक है, इसमें const भी ऐड कर देता हूँ मैं, ये बहुत परेशान हो रहा है. So there is some styling which you have to do. Um, and you can like write text style font size 30 and then it makes welcome to live coding like this, right? uh, the problem with this is basically this, there's no problem actually, but this is a very like a duplicate process है ना, बार बार आपको ये चीज़ लिखनी पड़ती है again and again, and it's like you have to wrap so many things here and there. So there is shortcut. I won't say that is the best way of doing it, but yeah, there are many ways of doing it. So what you can do, you can just copy this text, okay? um Center, let's remove this. What we can do, we can just say welcome to live coding, and because we have imported velocity x over here, okay? So and then what I can say, dot text, okay, dot make, or dot make centered. So make will just make the text, ठीक है? Text आ गया फिर से वापस, there is the text on the top. Or make centered, if you will say, then it will also move it to the center. So right now you can see it in the center, right? So this is a beauty. So this is now one line of code, not even one line, right? This looks fine. Now how to make it bigger, for example? So dot, I can say xl2, xl3, xl4. So let's try xl4, and now we can see welcome to live coding, right? Then you might think that I'll share the extensions, don't worry. Don't worry about that, I'll share that. It's not basically any extension. I have just done some settings over here. I think you are talking about the cursor. So this is some settings which I have done. So now let's say xl6 I am saying. Now the good part, जो कि आप लोग बहुत appreciate करने वाले हो, is basically this text is not showing any error, right? So अगर मैं text का size बहुत बड़ा करता हूँ, if I'm making the text size very big, then ideally you will see the, you know, that red screen on that bottom overflow error or some overflow error here and there, right? Yes, so basically this won't happen if you are using vx. Okay, there is another way of using it, by the way. If you don't want to use it this way, you can also use vx text, okay, which I think I have removed now. I don't even remember, it's been a long time. Okay, let it be like this. You can just say this. So you have a string. You can say dot text xl6 make centered, right? Okay, how to make it bold then, right? So we can just say, so first thing is that it resizes itself based on the screen. It does not matter that what is the size of it, right? I can run it on web as well, right? And you will see that it will work just okay. xl6 के आगे now I can write, for example, semi bold. So now it will make it semi bold. This is looking cool now, right? ठीक है. So this is fine. What if I want to give it some padding from all sides, from all sides, right? So ideally what you do is like you wrap the widget with padding widget, है ना? तो I'll try to mix the language. So अगर मुझे इसको padding देना है, padding is what? थोड़ा सा space left, थोड़ा सा space right से, for example. You can call it margin a little bit, but padding और margin में थोड़ा सा difference होता है. एक में inner space दिया जाता है, एक में outer space दिया जाता है. But for example, as of now, just consider as a space. So welcome to live coding text. This is what we have. We have to wrap it with padding. So what we can do after make centered, we can just say p. p मतलब padding, ठीक है? So p is padding. You can give any padding. For example, you can say p16, which means 16 padding from all sides, right? So अगर मैं ऐसा कह दूं तो you will see that we got 16 padding from all sides. So now it's looking cool, right? So this is um, another way of doing it, right? uh, what you can do, for example, I just want to give padding from left side, okay, horizontal padding, or I don't want to give vertical padding, right? So for horizontal padding we want to give padding from left and right side, right? uh, okay, so what I can do, px16. So px16 means padding is only horizontal. If I say py16, that means it is only vertical. So as you can see, when I said py16, this padding is just vertical, right? No, horizontal padding is gone. You can also give padding in terms of there is a lot of other options, like for example there is p only, where you can specify from left right from where you want to give the padding, right? There is pltrb. Pltrb means you can give left right, left top right bottom and all those things, right? Now there is a very good question in the chat box. बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा है, मैं उस पर आता हूँ अभी. So p symmetric is also there, right? Lot of things are there. So मैं p16 से अभी इसको end करता हूँ. Now the question which someone has asked is that how do we make those object oriented style dynamic? For example, conditional font size for x16. Now this is also very easy to do. Okay, so what you can do, you can say dot font size. Okay, so there is something called not font size, actually dot size. Okay, so size is basically for font size, where you have a bracket which asks for size, right? For example, if I say true, then 16, otherwise 0, right? So now you can see we have a size of 16. If I say 32, then you can see the text is much more bigger. But the good part is that there is no break in the code, right? I mean, there is no break on the screen, like no overflow error at all, right? Why? Because it is auto sizing it, right? So this is what also you can do. Okay, this is another very good way of saying it. There is one more question. uh, for example, मैं एक और situation बताता हूँ. What if you already have a text in your application, right? And then you want to use velocity x on the top of it, right? um, okay, for example there is a text. ठीक है, ये text आपने पहले से लिख रखा है अपने कोड में. uh, right, welcome to live coding, for example. This is a text which you already have, right? And there is some style as well. For example, you say that okay, font size is uh, font size is 30. Sorry, text style देना है. So we have a text style already where we say font size is 30, right? So this code you already have in your application, right? um, and let's say it is also centered. By the way, if you want to center something, so you can also use directly dot centered. So dot centered is another extension method which you can use. So what it will do, it will make your text as centered. Okay, so ये normal text है जो you might be using in your application. Now you want to use velocity x, right? So do you need to remove it entirely, right? This can be a question. Do I need to remove it? So actually you don't have to remove it. What you can do, after this text you can directly say dot text and dot make. What it will do, it will keep this as another text, like this is the same text, we are not doing anything. But now if you applied some color to it, for example I apply a color, for example green 800, right? Green 700, 800, 800. Then you will see the color of this text will change. Welcome to live coding, right? And it is now of green color. So basically you can use your existing text widget and you can append it using velocity x and it will just override that. Okay, and for example if there is another property which you are using, it can override that property if you specify it again. Otherwise it will use of everything which you have already specified. For example, अब मेरे को क्या करना है, इसको bold करना है, तो I can just say dot bold. So see, this is working. The text is still this, okay, but this is basically a beauty of it कि it just makes it even better. And you don't have to remove your widget if you don't want to remove it, right? आप बाद में इसको change कर सकते हो. You can also, for example, if I remove the color from here and I add the color here, then also it's fine. So that's also a possibility. So that's why there is no VX text widget. Just you can use a normal text widget along with VX. So that also works. Okay. So this is the same thing, right? Huh. So this is also something which I just wanted to tell you ki this is possible. Okay, you can easily do it. Okay, now coming back to this looks fine. And I can just say Excel 6. Okay, there are so many other things which you can do. For example, let me just make centered dot p16. This is not it. Okay, okay, cool. So welcome to live coding. Let's also do it like Ember 400. This is looking good, very nice. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask in the chat. I'm just like looking into chat as well, and you can let me know. Okay, there is one problem with this approach is basically if your text is generic, okay, like not generic, I would say. If your text is just a constant, then you lose the access to const keyword here. So basically you can use your normal text and then append velocity x with that if that's important to you. So just saying that, okay. Okay, so now moving further, how are you feeling about this feature so far? Because this makes your life easier, I guess. Okay, there are few more things which you can do. A very interesting thing. For example, you want to make it lowercase, okay, the entire stuff. Okay, let's say if I say live welcome to live coding. This is like welcome has w capital है ना, welcome का w capital है, to का t capital है, but live coding दोनों small है. What I want to do, I want to make entire thing smaller case, right? मैं इसको पूरा smaller case बनाना चाहता हूँ, lower case जिसको हम बोलते हैं. So what I can do after text और आफ्टर एक्सेल 6 कहीं पे भी आप जाके डॉट लगा सकते हो, डॉट लोअर केस. इफ़ यू डू दैट यू कैन सी कि ये वेलकम टू लाइव कोडिंग पूरा लोअर केस हो गया, राइट? सो दिस इज इंटरेस्टिंग, अगेन वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टफ. वट यू कैन डू, यू कैन ऑल्सो मेक इट अपर केस, ठीक है? सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल अपर केस मैंने बोल दिया. सो ओके, so this is uppercase. Another good question which just came, is that isn't it heavy in terms of performance when you have lots of method like this? So another, this is something which I have already taken care of. Why? Because when you append these different methods and all, right, or the properties, it does not make wrap it with another widget, okay? It just uses the same widget. For example, when I'm saying excel 6, so what it does is basically it takes your same text and it just have changes the size. Then when you say bold, then it makes it bold as well. Okay, it just adds that property as well. How that works? When you say make or make centered, that's when it compiles that particular widget. Okay, until unless or if I remove make centered from here, you will see error here, right? So it is saying that VX text builder is not defined. Okay, it's not working. Why? Because until unless you make it, making means that you have completed the entire widget structure. Now you want to just say that I have done it. Okay, so that's when you use make or make centered. For example, make is nothing, just normal widget. A make centered means wrapping it with center as well. So this makes it possible to get the best performance out of it. I mean, you don't have multiple widgets. So there was another widget, another library, okay, uh, which was using similar kind of approach. But what they were doing, whenever you used to append a method, they used to wrap it with another widget. So that is very bad for performance, because you add one feature and then you just wrap it with new widgets. So there is a text widget, on the top there is another text, then on the top there is another text. So that's not worth it in my opinion, right? So this is something which I have taken care of. Or by the way, I just want to say that this is something which I'm using in my production apps as well. So there is no such problem in terms of performance and all. But yes, There are some things which might be too much to do, but these things are very simple. So I'll let you know when there is something which I would say that this does not work as expected, or this has some performance penalty. I'll let you know. Okay, so there are some questions. Let me just say, let me just see what is happening. um Flutter and what its the future, we will talk about. It has a good future, by the way, in short. um how to store drop down values into Fire. Okay, Firebase we will talk about later. Please don't write same comment again and again. React Native or Flutter. Respect, bro. Don't do this, please. I'll just slow down. Otherwise, okay. Yeah, please don't write the same comments again and again. I have to otherwise, do something to. Okay. Okay, I think I have to stop this guy. Otherwise, he will keep spamming. Don't spam, otherwise it just makes it my life difficult, because I don't want to. Uh, okay, let's move further. So now, did you like it? Okay, overall, just let me know. Uh, okay, so let me know in the comments if you liked this entire presentation so far. Okay, what to do if I want the size P15? Okay, so basically P15 size is not available. Okay, why? Because there are some normal sizes like 2, 4. Either ideally you give the padding as 2, 4, 8, 16, in that form. But yes, you can give the size 15. It does not mean you cannot give the size as 15. So you can just say P, and then it takes a value. So you can say 15 in the brackets. Okay, so that's also something which you can do. But P16 is something which you directly get, right? P16, which takes a key as well. So P16 is like ideal way of giving padding. For a padding is like mostly 2, 4, 8, 16 like that, right? But yes, you can give 15, 16, 17, 20, whatever you want to give. So this is P15, right? Okay. Next question. What was the question? Uh, Hype. Okay. 30 days of Flutter you are doing. That's great. You can technical Sudeep, you can join our Discord server. We'll definitely, I'll try to be active here there as well. We'll discuss about the documentation part. Um, I have just discovered you. I have been a Flutter developer for 3 years. I thought there was no package that I didn't know, and most yet share the same thing. Looking forward for more videos like this. There are a lot of things, by the way. This is just a beginning of this package. There are n number of things which will just blow your mind. I'm sure, because there's something which I'm, always working on. Every day I'm doing something on this package. Um, MacBook पे बनाएंगे भाई रिव्यू डोंट वरी इफ आई यूज वेलोसिटी इन प्रोडक्शन विल इट बी गुड बिकॉज मैनी मे बी अदर developers don't know velocity x Amit Kumar it's a personal choice I would say we use it but we don't force people to use it if you like it you can use it there are a lot of things which you can do velocity you don't have to use it for everything there are few things which I'll mention okay with time that there are maybe you can use velocity x for that particular use case right there are a lot of features for example uppercase lowercase I showed you right there are for example you can just say first case uh, first letter uppercase or you can for example you can say capitalize so it will just make first first character of every word capital so capitalize right all these kind of things makes it a little bit better in that sense there are more features by the way let me see what other things are there because I don't even remember so yeah you can ellipses it you can fade the text as well like say for example if I say fade it will fade the text right now you cannot see it because we have sufficient size over here if I restrict the size then you will see it um, content about it okay we have some documentation about velocityx on its website velocityx.dev but I would say that documentation is not 100% complete there are a lot of things and I would ask you to contribute to it if you can do that because that will be very helpful. um okay, getx we will talk about it later. Okay, let's move further. Okay, I'll show you many other things. There are n number of things which you can do. Now let's say Can you do animations with VX? You can do it. But I would suggest, if you want to do animations, don't use like VX just for animations. You can do better job with other packages probably. But I'll show you how to, do animation related stuff as well. That's pretty much you can do. Um, the state management library, why then need of stateful widgets? It's a personal choice. At behind the scenes, stateful widget is being used. Okay, please don't write the same comment again and again, otherwise I have to, you know like, kind of move it to, yeah, I have to move it you to, yeah, maybe I have to delete the messages or something like that. Okay, so now, okay guys, it will be great if we wrap it, like if we put this text inside a box. What do you say? So how we can put it inside a box, right? um okay, so let's see. So basically, what I want to do, I want this text to be inside a box, inside a container, you can say. And then I want to do something around it, right? So what I can do, after p15, I can say dot box dot make, right? What it will do, it will wrap it into a box. और अभी आपको ये बॉक्स दिख नहीं रहा होगा, you cannot see the box as of now, right? Shri Man is asking, is there any CLI tool? No, there is no CLI tool. You have a tool, you have to do it manually. Don't do it using any tool generation anyway. Do it manually so that you can learn it, right, if you want to learn it. Okay, now, okay, what I was showing you is this there's a box now. I just said dot box dot make, which means make a box, and inside that box put this text. Okay, but you cannot see the box as of now because I haven't given it a color. For example, if I give it a color, for example, red 400, then you will be able to see the box. Can you see the box? So basically, this box is taking the entire height, right? Now I can remove this container as well if I want. So remove this widget, and then we have this box which is red 400, and our text is inside this, right? Okay, what if I want to give this box, um kind of, I want to make this box a square, है ना, स्क्वायर बनाना चाहता हूँ मैं इसको. What I can do, I can set box dot square, and I can give it a value, for example, 300. Okay, this won't work. The reason is because if you see, we have a container of 300 size, but we are kind of taking the entire space of the screen. है ना? That's true because we are using material, right? Inside material. What we do, if we make it centered, then you will be able to see it. Why? Because now when I wrap it with center, then I have the box between the center, and then the square size is 300, right? So then it makes sense. So until unless you give a particular size, you will have some problem with the layouts. I'll talk about it later as well, right? Okay. um so yes, it's okay to make CLI migration, but it's not worth it, I would say. Shri Raman. Okay, now what else I can do? So this is a box which you can see. Hanam, what I can do, I can make it rounded. So how much effort it takes to make it rounded box? So what you can say, you can just say dot rounded. For example, rounded LG, which means rounded large, and this is what you get. Okay, so basically what it is doing, it is making this as a rounded kind of, है ना? This is pretty cool, and this is looking fine. What I can do, I can also remove this padding from here now, and I can give it inside the box as well. So I can just say dot p15 inside the box, or p16. What it will do, it will do the same thing, but now it is giving the padding inside the box. Okay, how does it look like so far? I think it's pretty cool. Rounded you have given already. What if I want to give some shadow as well, right? That will make it a little bit more cooler. So I can just say dot shadow 2xl, for example. And now you can see there's a very good effect here. This shadow looks pretty cool, right? I mean, at least it looks good to me. I don't know about you. How do you feel about it? But um, it looks good to me, right? And this will be square all the time because its height and width is gonna remain the same. Okay. Um, um, Factoric is saying if I use inkwell, it gives me some error. We'll see it. I cannot say what might be the error. Um, we'll make Windows app on Flutter 2.10 as well. Okay, this is what you can see. Welcome to live coding. This is inside a box. How do you feel about the box? Um, what if I want to give some gradient to it rather than saying red 400? I just want to say something like I want to give some gradient, है ना? So what I can say gradient with gradient, sweep gradient. Very there are a lot of things. We can just say gradient from to, where we can just say from color and we can give a to color. So I can say for example orange 400 to vx dot rose 600. So if I do that, you can see this is what we get, right? Okay, shout out ace gamer pro, shout out दे दिया आपको. Karan Rana, how do we make responsive edits? And we will cover that as well. That's very easy. Okay, so you can see, um, okay, if I add this package on my project, what will be the size? Size, if you'll move to production, it can be somewhere from 100 KB to 200 KB. It will increase the size by 100 to 200 KB. But there are a lot of features which you get, which I'll just talk about. So that 100 KB should not hurt you, or 200 KB does not should not hurt you. So that's the plan. But we'll talk about it. Okay, so this is looking good now. Let's make it orange 300. Rose को अपन कर देते हैं 300 as well. Okay, this is looking good as well, right? The color looks nice. Uh, so this feels like, how many lines of code we have written so far, by the way? I mean, this is very small in terms of this, right? Um, what else we can do? We can do, actually, have you heard about neomorphic designs? Any one of you? Have you heard about neomorphic design? If yes, let me know. Just quickly let me know if you have heard about neomorphic design. I can show you one more trick where we can just make it neomorphic as well. Uh, Hand sanitizer. Don't you think this is getting less readable when you increase the complexity of the design? What can be done for that? That's a good question. But what I will say is you can extract your widgets when you see that it is becoming less readable. That's how I will do it. Because uh, see, till now it is fine because this is a very simple widget, okay? But if you add more to it, then it's better to extract it as a separate widget. That's always a good idea. um okay, now neomorphic is nothing but is this is another like cool way of designing, you can say. For example, I'll show you what is neomorphic. So for example, I give it a color. uh, what should be the color? For example, let's say rose 600 only, rose 500. Okay, so this is for example a color, है ना, of the background. Now I have to make it neomorphic. So I'll first of all I'll remove this gradient from here. Okay, to make it neomorphic, what I can do, I can just say dot neomorphic. Okay, I can give, okay, this is saying that there is some problem because you have to give a color to it. mm, Color, and we can just say rose 500. And then you can see this is kind of neomorphic design, if you can see. So this is how a neomorphic design looks like, if you have seen it. I don't know if you have seen it. And there are various types of curves which you can give, right? क्या हो गया मेरे इसको कर्सर को काम नहीं कर, शॉर्टकट्स काम करना बंद कर गया for some reason. Let me just do a hot restart if that can help. Okay, so this is what we call neomorphic. Guys, मेरे शॉर्टकट काम करना बंद कर गए हैं for some reason. I don't know why my shortcuts are not working. But for example, I can give it more elevation. Let's change it to 20, and you can see this is looking cool, right? If you have seen it, right? Okay, and let's go back. This is fine. I mean, there is some other properties which you can use. Like, for example, you can give a curve, right? uh, Curve, I don't know why it's not working. I think, guys, I have to restart it, otherwise this is not gonna work. Okay. Okay, it's working now. So curve, I can say, we have curve takes vx curve dot flat, so we can give a flat curve as well. So this will look like this. Okay, so many things we have done. Okay, um, let's do something else. We'll just go back to where we were. Okay, this is fine. What else we can do here? Align center. So you can see, if I want to align things at center, I can just say align center. It will align it at center. So I can remove this make centered as make, and then also it will give me the same result. Now if I remove align center, then it will move it to top, but if I say align center, it will move it to center again, right? um okay, now what else I can do? There are a lot of things which we can do, in fact. अभी भी बहुत कुछ बचा है. There is colors, padding, and all those kind of things. Okay, let's do one more thing. What else? Okay, so let me tell you one more thing, which will be very interesting. Mm, let's go to VelocityX documentation once. VelocityX.dev. This is the documentation, by the way. You can start using it. So here we can see a lot of options over here. We have layout, customization, colors. We have all those colors. You can see the colors over here, right? So a lot of these colors, you can check the full template, full palette here. It will just we'll just go to Tailwind's website, where you will see all the color. Oh, they have added new colors as well. I'll add new colors as well, like neutral, zinc, stone. These are some new colors, but we will add it as well. Okay, so going back to colors. Um, is velocity x applicable to other Flutter widget? Like, if I'm using the swipeable card widget, so can velocity give it rounded corners? Yes, you can use it. Um, okay, so what else we have? Okay, guys, there is something new. Let's talk about shapes. Okay, so there is box, card, and all those kind of things which I have already talked about. For example, let's do one thing. Okay, let's move this widget somewhere. So what I can say, mm, I'll just copy this, and I'll just extract this widget. uh, let's say stless widget text demo, and then I can just paste it over here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll just say a column, and then we have children, and then we can just say text demo, right? Okay, so this is what we have as of now. uh, what is happening? Oh, immutable. That should be fine, we can fix it later. Okay, so what else we will do? Okay, what you do when you have to create a circle? What do you do? Can anyone tell me how you create a circle, or a capsule, kind of a rounded rectangle, if anyone wants to talk about it? um okay, guys, there is one more thing which you do. Let's say I have another text over here below it, and where I say something like this, right? It's right over here, right? And then let's also say that this text has, for example, if we say dot text dot excel 4 dot make, Okay, we have two things over here, right? How you will give space between them? Can anyone tell me? Okay, someone is saying circle avatar for circle. That's pretty good. Can you tell me how to give space between these two items? Right. If anyone can tell me who has been doing Flutter development, that's gonna be very interesting. If you can tell me how to give space between these two things. There is we are not gonna use padding for sure. So okay, we will use box decoration. Someone is saying rounded rectangular border, very good. Circle avatar is good. Um, okay, someone said Flutter coder said we use to we use size box. That's pretty interesting. Sized box, margin, sized box, pretty good. Sized box, right? So how we give sized box, right? So we give size box like this, sized box, and you will set height, right? Height as 20, for example. This is how you give space, right? This is pretty good. There's another way of doing it in Velocity X. It can be very easily done. Okay, a lot of people say size box, very cool. So how you can do it using Velocity X? So if you can see, you say height as 20, right? Size box height as 20, right? Um, how we can do it using Velocity X? Very simple. You can just say 20 dot height box. That's it. It will give you the same result, right? Um, you can also say height box like this, height box, and you can just say 20, something like this as well. This also works. So this velocity x gives you this privilege as well. So you can say height box and 20. Okay, so uh, I don't know if you knew about it, but this is something you can do as well. So you can either say 20 dot height box, or you can say height box and bracket में 20, right? For example, if you want to do width, you can do similarly. Let's say 20 dot width box, right? If let's say you want to have height and width as same, right? Then you can also use a square box. For example, I can just say 20 dot square box, square box, right? What it will do, if you'll go inside, it will have a sized box with same height and width, right? um, so that's also something you can do. You can also use it as like this. If you want to use a const keyword, then you can use it like this. Okay, a lot of people prefer to use const keyword, so you can use this way as well, right? This is also possible, square box or width box, whatever you want to use. So both ways work, right? Hmm. Mm. So what do you think about this one? uh, it's pretty cool, right? I mean, this can this can make your development little bit faster, in my opinion, right? Please create playlist this series separately. Fact, I will do it. Don't write it again and again, bro. That's very disturbing. So I hope you got the idea about it, right? um, 1 second. Okay, so now, um, what else? So did you like about this height box concept? This looks pretty cool, right? What I was showing you now, let's say 30 height box. It's cool, it's cool. Yeah, this is what I want to do. It's cool. Now what else? What I want to do? There's one more thing which um but you are writing more classes using velocity x. Actually you are not, because see, the point is that even if you are using your, like, if you are making a serious application, you are going to use sized box a lot of time, right? So technically you are using the same class over and over again, even. So um, I mean, it's basically about preference, to be very honest, but I would say that you are anyway gonna write it a lot of times, right? So, like height box or size box, I'm not gonna use only once, right? I'm in throughout my application, I'm gonna use it many times, right? So this is also a way of doing it, right? um okay, I'm not right now making any app, but I will make an app later. I'm just showing you all the various things which you can do. So by the way, you can also use like I have specified this as a column, right? Something like this. If you want, we can also call this column as vstack. Vstack is also what, so it's been taken from Swift UI. So you don't need to specify children there, and this is how vstack works, right? um so this is how vstack works, right? Another way of writing vstack is, basically you can just have these brackets, okay, like a square bracket here and a square bracket here, and then after this bracket you can say dot vstack. This is also another way of using column, by the way. You don't need this one as well. So this is again a column. So what I have done is basically I have added um, two square operators, which means a list, and after the list you can just say dot vstack. And vstack has a property, for example, alignment, cross alignment. So you can set it as well, right? Um, uh, can you just make app using NFT concept? We'll see. We will see. I have some plans about blockchains and Web3. We'll see that. Uh, okay, what else we can do? This is pretty interesting. So vstack is something which you saw. Hmm. We have okay, huh. So I asked a question how you draw a circle. So I can take tell you one more way of drawing a circle. How you gonna do how you are gonna do it? You can just say VX circle. That's it. And it will make a circle for you. So that's how easy it can be. What velocity is created for? That's a good question. If you go to VelocityX website, you'll see minimalist Flutter framework inspired from Tailwind CSS and Swift UI for rapidly building Flutter apps. So that's the purpose of it, right? So that you can rapidly build something. So is anyone aware you can also draw a circle this way? You can just use VX circle. This is very new, I know, but yes, that's possible. And this gives you a circle without breaking anything. It gives you a circle of a specific size, by the way. You go inside it, you will find what size it is giving. But how to modify it more, right? There is more values, like you can have a radius over here. For example, I give the radius as 50. Circle is smaller, and you can see this also animates as well, right? I mean, if I make it 100, you'll see 100, right? um for example, I give it 500. I can see the circle, and again, it is not breaking the UI. It's not doing anything like that. That stupid kind of thing. Okay, 300. What if I want to change the background color? Okay, I can change the colors as well. For example, red. um okay, this red is not looking at all, so yellow. Okay, this is fine. It's ugly as well. Let's use something from VX library. Warm, warm 200 maybe, or 3 400 maybe. Warm gray. Okay, this is cool. If you specify children inside velocity circle, will it be positioned in portion of column of the circle? Children inside velocity circle, will it be positioned in portion of column of the circle? Yes, you can give a child basically, but I didn't know what you wanted to ask. So basically, you can use your own way of doing it. Like for example, if I am saying a text hello, then it will just use it inside this. uh, okay, so I think this is what you meant. So if you want to do it like a centered way of doing it, then you have to move it like this, because it takes the entire space and then cut it down using custom paint. Okay, uh, cu- sorry, using clipper, not custom paint, but using a clipper. So if you go inside VX circle, it basically it has um basically this uses, okay, we are not doing anything. In fact, VX circle, for VX circle I'm actually not doing anything much. I'm just using an animated container. For VX capsule and all, I think for ellipse we are using something. Okay, let me show you. I'll show you one by one. But yeah, this is something which you can do. You can just say dot centered if you want to move it to center. um, okay, please tell us how to use media query. I'll tell you there's another shortcut to use media query as well. Okay, what else we get with VX circle? Okay, you can also set a background image, by the way. So you have to say decoration image, decoration image. and then you have to give the image, which is for example, we can take network image over here, and we can give a URL. For example, if I go to this image, I can just maybe use it. It's an SVG image, so it's not gonna work probably. Splash. Let's use some image from here. Okay, this image is pretty cool. Let's try to put this image over here. Okay, so you can see we have this image over here, right? So pretty cool stuff, right? This is also something which you can do, by the way, just want to tell you, and this will come after child. Okay. uh, um uh, this is old video. No, I'm doing it live, bro. Okay, media query, someone asked, right? Let's say if you want to give this radius in terms of media query, so how you can give it, right? So you can just say context dot mq, right, which will give you the access to media query. And then you can use for example, media query dot you have padding, size, then you can just say height by 2, right? And it will give you this particular thing. Or even there is another better way. Rather than saying context dot media query dot size dot height, you can just say context dot screen height. That will do the same thing. So you can see the result is same. If I just make it 3, then you will see the box is smaller, right? So screen height will is nothing but, if you go inside, it is mq dot size dot height, right? There is something called percentage height as well. For example, if I do percent height, then I can, let's say percentage height will do, you can multiply with any percentage. For example, I want 50% of the screen, so it will give me 50%. For example, I need 30%, then it will give me 30%. If I do 40, it will give me 40%. So this is another way of using media query, by the way. Pretty cool stuff. There's a lot of things you can do. I'll come to that responsive UI part as well in the future. Hold on with for that. There's a lot to explore. Okay, I just showed you VX circle, right? There's pretty much more stuff which we can do. We can have something called VX ellipse as well. So VX ellipse also you can use. So it will give you this ellipse kind of shape. The reason it is behaving like this, because this column is not scrollable. Okay, so we can make it scrollable as well. After VStack, we can just say scroll vertical, and it will scroll it vertically. So this is not scrollable actually. I'll just show you. So VX ellipse, we can again give the height, let's say 200 for example. um, okay, let's add some height as well here as well. Okay, this is our ellipse, which is not very happy for some reason. We can give some width, for example, you can give 50 width. Okay, ellipse is trying to do few things here and there. 200. Okay, this is how an ellipse looks like. For example, this is our ellipse. So BL Kumawat has donated some money to this particular channel. Let's see. Bro, I'm also uploading Flutter videos on Inventor code. Please review that. Will sure, I'll definitely review that, bro. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so I can give the color to this as well. Okay, this is the to this thing, and you can also give shadows. So all the properties are similar to what we have seen with um colors.amber. For example, this is something which you can do, right? We have something called capsule over here as well. So VX capsule, what it is that, you can see this is how capsule look like. It's like the word is taken from medicine, right? The capsule which you have seen. And this is looking cool, right? We can also give some padding at the end. For example, let's give padding of P16. And now it is scrollable, right? Scroll vertical is another extension method which I'm using. So let me know in the comments how you are feeling so far with this. By the way, there is something else I just want to show you. So VX capsule is there. You can have VX triangle as well. There's a lot of things you can do, in fact. VX triangle. So we have a triangle over here if you see, right? What I'll do, I'll just remove this color. This is not looking good. Okay, so now I have a triangle over here. Um, how easy it is to add a triangle now, right? You can change the stroke width. Let's say stroke width, if you want to change it to, let's say, 20, then you can just say 20. So this is how a triangle will look like then. Let's also add a height box over here. Um, this is also looking good, right? You have a triangle over here, which looks cool. Uh, so no chance of JIT in velocity X. Why do you think that there is no chance of JIT? This is what JIT compilation invoke when you are using hot reload and all. Okay. I have created my own website. That's great. Congratulations, Anand. Okay, what else? Which font you are using? I am like, are you talking about the app font or this VS Code font? Okay, VX triangle. I have one more widget which you can use. I think we have VX rectangle as well, but continuous rectangle, which is another type of rectangle which you can use. So we have this rectangle as well. We have VX ticket as well. So this is very interesting widget. If you see, if you have seen a ticket like, if you see book my show, it shows you ticket like this, right? So you can use this ticket, right? A lot of good stuff you can do, right? uh, uh, Test size more off screen can velocity automatic handle and fix the size. I didn't understand your question, Muhammad Shahid Ali. I didn't understand it exactly what you mean. VS Code font, I have to check it. Actually, this font is basically Dank font. The name of the font is Dank. DNK. Okay. So VX ticket is basically another way of using it. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna show you is basically, mm, what if I want this ellipse to cut in half? Okay, this ellipse I want to cut in half. How you will half it? How you will cut it half? Can anyone tell me in the comments? For example, for example, let's say not. Let's have a circle again. Okay, another circle. Let's say I have this circle. I want to cut this circle in half. How you will cut it in half? Can anyone tell me in the comments how you can do it in half? I'm waiting for it. Um, Dart programming language is used for UI. No, no, no. Clip path. There's a good answer to it. We can use clip path to cut it half. That's a very common use case sometimes. Cutting half and making an animation kind of a custom layout. Um, Anyone else wants to try it out, like how you can cut it in half by passing angle? That's good. Yeah, we are getting there. We are getting there. So this can be a very simple use case. We was semicircle. No, we don't have anything like that. We don't have VX semicircle. That will be too much. Um, so what we can do? That's an interesting one. Okay, 11:19. We are running out of time. Actually, what you can do is you can just say dot clip half. Okay, that's it. And you can see our circle is half now. So what we can do, we can use this technique to kind of you can use this technique to make a custom design. For example, if you'll see the if you'll see that example folder in velocity X, then you will see an android robot. So that is made using this particular technique, using circle dot half and then using continuous rectangle or capsule and all those kind of things. So you can do a lot of stuff like that. Okay, clip half is certainly something uh, which you would love to use, right? Okay. um there's one more question I have, right? Very good question and very useful. Okay, you can also give clip behavior. mm, the question is, how many of you have used buttons? Okay, has anyone has used buttons? For example, A button can be something like this, elevated button. Okay, on pressed you do something, and on child you say, let's say, press me. Yes, you can rotate it as well. That's a good question, came. I like when people try to interact as an audience, right? So you have this button called press me. Okay, so if you want to rotate it, how you can rotate? So you can just say dot rotate, and you have a lot of other extension methods. Um, for example, I want to rotate it 180-degree, so you can see it is rotated. If that's what you meant. Um, so this you can rotate. Okay. Um, we have a lot of functionalities, don't worry. We can it's a rotate function. Rotate, we have a lot of things. You can also rotate it randomly, or negative rotate as well. You can also rotate N45 like this. This is also some kind of weird behavior which you can see. Um, okay, this is easy, right? Let's go back to our button. What I'm gonna do is, let's give it some more width. Okay, so I'll just make increase the width as, for example, 100. Okay, for example, this button. Okay, so we have this button many times, right? Sometimes what you want is, you don't want user to click this button, right? You want to disable this button. How many of you have done it? If you have disabled this button, can you tell me how you disable the button? Because when you disable the button, you kind of remove the color from it as well, right? If you remember, if you have seen disabled button, how you have seen it, right? So so can anyone tell me in the comments how you disable the button, first of all? And if you disable it, then you also have to change the color of it, right? Because this looks like an elevated button. This does not look like like if even if there is a text button, then also it does not behave like that. Okay, someone just said, so press me is working right now. Someone is saying that if I do, just say, let's say null, then it disables the button, right? And this is pretty good, right? And that solves the problem, right? Pretty good. I'm happy that you know most of it, right? But this is an elevated button. But there is a possibility that you made a button by yourself, right? Which is a custom button, for example, right? Can anyone tell me how you will disable it? For example, um, this is the pretty good stuff. There you can see that on pressed in null, and this does the job for you. But there can be a situation, for example, there is a button like this, press me dot text dot make dot white, for example, dot make, okay, dot box, right? Dot box dot p16 dot um let's say blue 500 dot make. What I want to show you is basically, so this is another button, press me, right? This is a similar kind of button, if you can see. Right now, first of all, it is not clickable. So how to make it clickable? So there are two ways of doing it, right? Um, there's two way of making it clickable. You can wrap it with material widget, sorry, gesture detector widget, or you can wrap it with inkwell, right? So for example, I want to wrap it, right? Um, Yes, you can take a boolean, you can do it. I'll come to that. That's not the point. The point is that how you will do it. So you are right, you can use on pressed, right? For example, this is a container, this is a custom button, I would say, right? Let's also make it a little bit rounded so that it feels like a button. Okay, this looks like a button. Good button, right? You have seen this kind of button many times. So first of all, how to add a gesture effect? So you can just say dot tap, okay, on tap. So on tap, what it does is basically it gives you this functionality. On tapping of it, it do something. For example, it prints um hello. Okay, something like this. If I go back here in the debug console, if I click here, it presses hello, 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 hello. Okay, this is cool. Now, can anyone tell me how I can disable this button? If there is this kind of button, how I will disable it? Anyone in the comment? So on tap is basically using gesture detector. If you want, you can also use on ink tap. Okay, on feedback tap is also there, which I will show you. On mouse enter and all this, there are a lot of things basically. There are a lot of things, guys. There's a lot of things. We'll talk about it one by one. Thanks Jantan, बहुत अच्छी बात है, सीखो यार. Can anyone tell me how I can make it still occupying the other half portion space? How to get over it? This is something which I'll cover later. Sam Gaming. The question is very genuine, which you have asked, and I know. I was sure this was coming. On tap null. Uh, okay, on tap null is not gonna do anything. It will not disable this button anyway. It will feel like this button is still enabled, right? Um, Use variable and set it false. But that's also not gonna make it my job easy because this button will still feel like for example, if I say on tap as null, I don't know if this this is gonna do anything because null is nothing here. In this case, this is like if I remove this part and I just say null, it does not mean anything. Okay, this is not gonna work. Okay, then how I will do it? Okay, let's try to get it straight. Someone has already guessed it in the comment. Hasnain has guessed it. Dot disable, right? So we have something like that. So you can just say dot disabled. Okay, and you can give the disable value. So by default, and let's say if you set true, then you can see button is disabled and the opacity is changed. So now you cannot click it. Clicking on it does nothing, right? And if I say false, then it comes back, and if I click here, you can see it is clickable as well. But if I make it true, so I can apply some property as well, which does the same kind of thing, right? um so yeah, this is something which so yeah, so that's the fun, that's the thing here. You don't have to set anything as null. You don't have to remove the color based on some, specific uh, like conditional statement. You don't have to change any styling. You can just say dot stay disabled and it will work as expected, right? And this is probably a better way of doing it, right? You can also do few things like for example, you can also hide the button, right? You can just say dot hide and it will hide the button completely. um and if you want, you can also say if it is visible or not, right? So it can say true, then it will make it visible. False, then it will hide it. But if you want it to take the space, just hide it but take the space. For example, there is something called in Android, there is this property, um don't remember the name. In XML layout, you can actually do few things where it just hides the widget or hides the particular view, uh, with taking the space as well and without taking the space as well. Right now, if you see, my hide function has actually removed it entirely without taking the space. But if you say maintain, there's a there's a property called maintain size. If I say true, then you can see it takes the space, but it is just hidden. So that's also a really um, you know good way of doing it. um, Invisible in XML, correct. So this is something which invisible, there is not invisible actually. There is, what is the name of that particular uh, layout thing? I don't remember. I think that's a property, right, of any, like if you have this linear layout and all those kind of things, text as well. So inside text there is a property called invisible, or hide or something like that, right? So you can just check it out, right? So this is how it works. But with Flutter, there is no direct way of doing it. You can use a visibility widget which does the job similarly, but yeah, there is another way of doing it, that is this. So yeah, visibility is the property there as well, right? Okay, so this is something which I also wanted to tell you. The height box is fine. Okay, now what if I want to increase the size of a particular thing, right? So you can also do, like, you can give, like, for example, this button, I can give it a width like this as well, like width W40, so it will give 40% of the screen, for example, like this gives 40% of the screen, right? I can also say, for example, 60, so it will give 60% of the screen to this button, right? Similarly, you can do height as well. um, you can also say, for example, W full, so it will give full width to this button, right? You can also say W 1/4, W 3/4, W half, so W half will give half of the screen, and it works on web, desktop, Android, iOS, whatever you are using. Okay, so many cool things, right? Similarly for height also, height you can just say height half. So it will take the entire half height. So you can see something like this, right? This is pretty cool. You can also set width and height both as a half. It will do that as well. So, and we will use it when we will see responsive layout, right? How it's gonna help us a lot. If we go back to our um, this spacing, I have already, okay, this is not our documentation, this is it. Match parent and context like in Android, yes, we have something like that here as well, but not exactly, the naming convention is same. Shapes, I have already shown you. So BX Webble is another shape which I missed. You can find it here. Responsive layout is there. Super VX, we have VX platform, VX toast, VX stepper, a lot of things. Okay, we have state management as well. We have navigator 2.0 as well. There are a lot of things, guys. I think this is fine for today. um, um Nothing for network image and asset image. Actually, there is something for that as well. For example, if you have a network image here like this, you can copy it. You can see people are, and then you can say network image or something, circular network image, for example. There is something for set circular network image you can use, and it will give you this image again here. See, in the circle, the thing. So yeah, I made some small extension method which gives this kind of functionality. uh, okay, how can we use content in a class without passing it from other side, like in control, how we can use content as in, I didn't understand. We will do a more complex we will do more complex coding with this as well, don't worry about that. But I hope you enjoyed this entire video so far. There's a lot more to explore. We will do more exploration of this widget as well. We'll also talk about Flutter 2.10. Once I try it out that it is working fine or not, then I'll make a video on it where we will talk about Fluent UI as well. Okay, so okay, so how's your experience so far? Just let me know. Because I'm reading the comments over here. There is this screen is here, and there is um RP series every week. Let's see how it goes. How was your experience with this with this episode? Let me know. We can explore so many other things. There are a lot more to explore. This is just a beginning. I mean, even velocity x, whatever I have explained today, is not even, is, I think, just 10% of it. Just, we have just seen 10% of velocity x so far. There's still 90% to see. 90% data 90% content is still left with velocity x. You can do, you can pretty much do everything, each and everything. So that's one thing. Second thing is also, we'll also explore blockchain, how to make blockchain apps using Flutter. That's also in my list. We may do some live coding as well, to develop some blockchain related applications as well. We will also use Fluent UI. We will also try to use Firebase as well. So uh, okay. I want to when we will doing live stream again, brother? Probably next week we will do the live stream as well. Okay, that we can do. Um, Thank you, Raj Shekhar, for your kind words. Really appreciate it. Devil, thanks. Mm, Does Velocity X use SVG? No, no. You have to use some separate SVG. Like SVG, there's a package for that SVG. You can use Flutter SVG. That is good. I'm not maintaining anything in Velocity. Velocity is X. Try to not use any other third party package. So um, Flutter prerequisite. The people who wants to learn, you can take my 8 hours of Flutter course, which is already available in Hindi on my channel, so you can check it out. I think that should be a good way to start. I have explained each and everything in detail there as well. Uh, so guys, I'll talk to you after sometime. Maybe next week we will do another live coding. Well, I'll explain you other stuff, not this one. This is now boring. This is something which I have already explained. And see how many lines of code we have written today. Just 40, 50 lines of code. Though that's not even 40, 50 lines of code. It just it was just very easy, right? I mean, the way we did these things, and the result is pretty much amazing. If someone will ask you how much lines of code it will take, you know, this is going to be more than what you expect. Please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel. Also like this video. You know, if you really want to support me, you can go to Twitter. I am the PK is my Twitter handle. And you can also, you know, let me there. For example, I'll just ping you the I am the PK. So I'll pin that. This is my Twitter handle. You can write me on Twitter. You know, you can tag me on Twitter. You can share your opinion on this live stream, how it was. You can see the pinned comment probably. Uh, right. um, and then you can also, if you want, you can also, you know, message, not message, but you can also follow me on Instagram. Don't message me because not checking messages a lot. But yes, on Twitter you can tag me. I'll definitely retweet your tweet or probably comment on your tweet. So that's what I'll do. um, I hope you enjoyed it so far, and as I told you, there's some construction work going on my home, so that's why I'm not producing a lot of videos and I don't have that much time as well. But I'm trying to make some time so that we can go back and we'll explore that as well. So I'll see you next time probably. Okay, have a good night. Have a great Sunday tomorrow. And also I'm running this Flutter specific Flutter dev chat Twitter space every Sunday 9 p.m. on Twitter. So if you are following me on Twitter, you must have seen it already. If you are not following me on Twitter, you can go to Twitter and you can, you know, just follow me so that you can attend my Twitter space, which is especially for Flutter devs, where we talk about Flutter jobs. You know, we talk about how to prepare yourself, you know, how to become a good developer, how to contribute to open source, and you know, how to, you know, get a um, like how to become a contributor, how to learn advanced topics in Flutter, you know, how to become a part of community, how to become a better developer, a lot of things like that. So, and we will also talk about different practices, state management, all those kind of things in that space. So we have already recorded 3 spaces so far. Tomorrow will be the fourth episode. So yeah, stay tuned and I'll catch you tomorrow. So bye bye. Take care. Good night. My voice is also breaking a little bit, so I have to take some water and I'll just go to sleep. It's the time of my okay. It's time to sleep. So yeah, it was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the video quality was also good. I'm just using AirPods for microphone because I don't have setup here, so that should have worked as well. So I'll see you in the next maybe tomorrow. I'll I'll see if I'll have time. Then I'll come tomorrow again. But yeah, next week probably. So bye bye. Take care.